Greetings, how is everybody? Doing well, I hope. Just move that so it's in a bit of a better spot. Oh, no. Maybe I should move myself because I'm not in the right spot either. I am being watched. Hey, Douglas. Richard. Thank you for the 14 months at tier 1 there, Dogma. I appreciate it quite a lot. I feel like I need to refresh the alert. It's getting a bit stale. Might be time to update some of them. Though I've been kind of putting them off because I was hoping to have done some more work on the 3D model for that, but it's not going to happen anytime soon, so maybe not. Maybe I'll just find something new to swap it out with. One moment. I really need to stop drinking like a bunch of soft drink right before I start streaming. It's terrible. Anyway, I didn't really feel like playing anything in particular today. Going to be doing some GTFO later on with Henshin, Tiger, and I think it was Golden. Let me double check that. And, yeah, and Golden. So we'll be playing that in about 2 hours-ish. But until then, I just felt like having a kind of relaxed day because it's been a bit hectic recently. So that button. I'm just gonna do some Power Wash Sim and chill out and chat probably. Why am I getting flickers? What's going on here? Feels alright. Anyway, I think I was in the middle of something last time, but then I got bored at one day and just kind of did it. Yeah, it was the Art Deco house. So I just kind of did that while watching another stream. It was what was I watching? Womble. I was watching Soviet Womble play some space engineer. He was building a truck, a space truck. Ridiculous looking thing, a truck flying in space. But, you know, it is what it is. Ezekiel! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Hey, Stipple. How's things? Speaking of blurps, they never got back to me on the text-to-speech stuff. Like, I got some responses saying, oh yeah, we'll need to look into this twice, and then nothing. I don't think they're going to look into it, unfortunately. So, for those who may be particularly observant, there's Tangia there now, and I'm still testing it out. Hopefully it works as planned. But it's there. Let me know what you think if you're the kind of person to use it. If you're not, that's cool too. It's only the text-to-speech stuff, though. I didn't care for any of the other things. That's all I really wanted from it. How are things with me? I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. It's been a long week, is all I have to say. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long week. We'll just leave it at that. I got a lot of things that I'd rather not think about right now. Instead, I'm going to clean a dog car. I specifically left this one because I was going to do it, but then I'm like, no, I think I'll leave this one for stream so that Dogmon can see me clean the dog car. Not that it should take too long. Got a little tail, which kind of looks, from the side, kind of looks more like a shark fin almost. Eh. I got a different thingy now, don't I? How do I do that again? Hold the button in, that's... Yeah, so I'm now using the 2400. which seems to have like a slightly wider spread and more pressure or something, from what I can tell. Really the only thing I've bothered to get at this point. I kind of regret buying that nozzle and such. That's particularly useful for the really far away areas. But I think for the 3000, I'm just going to get the extender and the spray bottle. Because that's kind of useless. That's this little turbo, what is it? That is that one. There's a little gyrating one. You know, and it doesn't do a whole lot, but it's supposed to wash slightly easier than this one. But this one, I actually pushed the right button. Still pushing the wrong button. There it is. Allows me to do a wider spread, so it's way better to use this. I also don't need the extendo pole on. There we go. But yeah, I figured I didn't really feel like learning a new game at the moment. And all my old ones, I think you're all kind of sick of them at this point. Maybe. I still got... Like, I did a little bit of the Outer Worlds 2 off stream. But I don't know if anyone's really interested in watching that again. Getting a little stale, unfortunately. Once I realized that the items were very limited in that game, it becomes far less exciting to play. I've got nothing to really like try and find in the game. Just the story. Story's good and all, but I like to have a bit extra something in the game than just the story. Doesn't keep my attention very long, usually. Let me just clean the tip real quick. There we go. Nice and shiny. I still have plenty of games to play. I just, yeah, a lot of them require the effort of learning it, and I can't be bothered right now. Damn, does that go all the way around? I think it does. That's interesting design. Normally there's like segments or broken up bits, but not on this one. How did I miss the bottom of that? Bing. Go all the way around the outside, around the outside. Didn't mean to jump there. Wasn't that exciting? Ew, some greasy mofo's been touching this handle. Seriously, if you eat chicken, wipe your hands. Go wash your hands. KFC is delicious, but it's greasy. I have exactly good. Also, I'd like to point out in in Tangia, I made my own character voice. Now, what by made I mean I had one generated. It's not actually a real voice. It's an AI voice generated. Because I don't have the patience to do that right now. But it's not my voice. Mr. Black's voice. And it should, I actually didn't check that. Let me double check what I did end up doing. It should have been channel point redeems for it as well. Check. where the channel point redeem stuff is. I don't actually know. GTS Studio. That's the... No, that's actually where you create it. At some point, I'll also give it an AI personality so you can ask Mr. Black questions, but I just haven't been bothered yet. Channel points enabled, but I don't actually know how to set the channel points. Maybe that's in Twitch. Do, do, do. When... Channel points. Yep, there it is. It's set to 1,000 apparently. You know what? 1,000's probably fine. Anyway, I put that there just because I'm testing it out, and I figured it's probably better to not have people pay for it and they just use channel points instead. They want to check it out. I don't know if I like it entirely. It still feels a little bit off, the voice, but I did my best to try to make it sound correct. As it turns out, Mr. Black is from Mississippi. At least that's what the AI is saying. That's the voice, the accent I had to go with to get what I wanted to hear from him. Surprise to me though, because I don't really know accents. I've always just been lazy and called it the southern sounding accent. But I went through like every state and checked to see what kind of accent came out of it, and that was the one that was most fitting. Alright, what am I missing here? Brake light. And that brake light, I kind of expected. Out in the tailpipe. What am I missing? Oh, that tire's not completely done. And then the greasy handle. Oh, the wipers. Alright, cool. And job's done. That took me, what, like 15 minutes maybe? I don't think I have nearly enough money yet for upgrades. Let's continue. We got a teapot tea room apparently. Yeah, 800 is like, is nothing. Take that, gnome. Can't throw it though, unfortunately. I want to throw the gnome. No. Oh look, there's two gnomes in this one. Go on, get out of here. Oh, look at the kitty. There's a kitty. And kitty. Ah, you left me a stick, but then you put an invisible wall in the way? Rude. Oh, there's gnomes everywhere. Get out of here, gnome. I play with your gnomes. Eh. There's another accent I used to do. It was Billy. Billy liked to play with gnomes. Uh, his neighbor Herman Sherman doesn't particularly want him to. Billy, stay away from my gnomes. Come on, Herman. I'll be gentle with them. Been a long time since I've done Billy. Billy's voice is... yeah. Not the easiest one for me to do. It's not so rough on the throat like Herman Sherman's voice is, because he's an old man. Do, 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 do. That was back when I wanted to write a comic strip, and then before I'd even written and drew one comic strip, I was in the middle of drawing it. I'm like, I wonder if I could animate this. And then, of course, I got distracted and never finished the comic. I mean, I don't know if Mr. Black likes gnomes. That was very quiet, wasn't it? He is not supposed to be that quiet. He's all the way up, too. Let me go in here and into here. Where's the volume? There you are. Crank you up to, say, 55. Regret it later. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to hit the replay button. I like gnomes. Let me boost that up a little more, because it's still kind of quiet. Weird thing is, I did a test and it sounded fine. Now it doesn't, so I don't know. Ban user, yes, ban stipple. I don't really want to turn that one up anymore. Where is it? There. Edit. I've already put his volume up like 150%. Fucking gay! Exactly! Fucking gay! Why is it not the right sound? The right volume? Words are hard, yo. Alright, we'll make it 70. 70's probably good, right? One more time. What does Mr. Black like? Apparently he likes gnomes. I mean, he is a deep-voiced character, so it's kind of not surprising. I won't be surprised if the other ones end up being really loud. Let me just find out. I'll do Duke. Good enough. Are you real? Might turn his main volume up a little more again. Thank you for that. Now I know whether or not it works. I can't exactly test it when I'm not on stream. I can see it in my OBS, but I don't know if it's actually working correctly or not. Because I can't access the panel when I'm off stream. And apparently I can't access the panel at all in my own account for some weird reason. I had to go sign in, well, I had to open up a private browser and test it. See if it was even loading it. I don't know why that is. I mean, my stupidity. I probably found a way to disable extensions because I didn't like them on other people's streams. Some of them are kind of intrusive instead of being little buttons. Like, they're still the button, but they by default are active and on the screen. I don't like that. You shouldn't have it active by default. Let people choose to use it. That main one was whatever the hell Baron uses. Because every time I went into Baron's channel, I get nothing but oh, the sensation of cleanliness. I don't know why his volume is so quiet. I've turned him up like multiple times now. He's still not the volume I'd like him to be. 200% it is. Yep, all the way. The best I can do for him. And there is a limit to how much you can use it, because they limit how much I can use channel points for them. But it's a pretty high limit, I'm fairly certain. I've got it set to, it's like, I want to say it's like 4,000 and 4,500 characters or something per month. That limit, of course, doesn't exist if you're using bits, because, you know, I mean, you're using bits, they don't care. There's still a limit to how large I think the message can be. But it's pretty long. I don't know how I feel about the ask ones either, because they use AI to ask questions, and then AI tends to come back with really long and unnecessary responses. How you doing, Tiger? All the cracks and seams. I'm tempted to try the Mr. Black accent right now, but I know I'm gonna fail. I haven't practiced in a while. You just have to suffice with the AI form of it. Something. Yes. Well, you get to play today though, right? We're doing some GTFO. As far as I understand, it's you, Kenshin, Golden, and myself. Unless plans have changed and no one told me. And nobody had told me about my niece's birthday event yesterday, so I didn't know until right before stream. Disappointing, but what you gonna do? Dun, 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 dun. So as punishment, I'm now sending as many Sphinx cat videos as I can to my sister. Leave Jimmy's mum alone. I do like Carl Weese's voice. I don't know how accurate that one is, though. Oh, that one doesn't show. Oh, because it's coming from Angier. It doesn't go through Twitch. Right. My current bot doesn't list third-party stuff. I don't think my new one does either, sadly. So I have to have the the bot posted in the chat instead. I just noticed that it seems to post them all anyway in chat. Instead of as a activity feed item. I really thought I just saw the cat run past me. Cool if it did that. Had them playing every now and then. Alright, that one's done. What are you doing hiding over here, huh? Yeah, let's wash that face. Go on get. Go on get. Dun, dun, dun. Very disappointed though that Blurps never got back to me really about the TTS stuff. I don't like having to use multiple systems because then I have to plan around, especially systems that don't have APIs. I have to plan around their displays so they don't cross over each other. I can't really stop them from playing at the same time. So if you played a Blurp at the same time as a NG or TTS, they'll go over each other because I can't stop them. Like I can't make them queue up against each other because there's no connection to the server. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Which is really the only reason I don't like using multiple systems is, yeah, they don't interact with each other nicely. Otherwise I wouldn't care. More options for you guys. All it really comes down to. Just gonna spray everything, suds everything down. Be able to get this entire area without running out of suds for it. Can't jump for shit though, apparently. Bum bum. Bum bum. Yes, we're going so relaxed right now. I'm even playing some chill step beats. Or lo-fi beats as it really is, because kind of lounge music at this point. No, didn't quite have enough to cover the entire area. Yeah, I might just lean off this chair and then I'll have enough for the other chair. Dun, dun, dun. How have you, yeah, there have you not dinged yet? Dun, dun, dun. By the way, if you have or know of a better TTS voice, let me know, because I'm more than happy to swap them out. I don't really use Tangier, so when I got in there and I realized they've got like multiple versions of the same characters, I'm like, that's going to be a pain in the butt. I have to go through them all. So I kind of didn't. I just picked the ones, a couple of the ones that I liked and went with that. Dun, dun. Ding. Yeah. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. How's everybody's, what day is it? Half a week been so far? It's only been a couple of days since I streamed, right? Dun, dun, dun. Mm, 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 mm. So I want to play Peak again because apparently the new biome they added, has zombies in it, and I didn't see a zombie at all. Like, we got covered in spores, and I don't think anyone turned into a zombie. But apparently they had some settings that were making people turn into a zombie too quickly, so they changed it. And I have a feeling they may have made it too hard to turn into a zombie. So they may have changed. I think they've changed it again. So I really want to to get back to it again to see if we can get ourselves some zombified people. Because like I was walking through the spores, didn't really care. Other than making it a little bit hard to climb for a little while, which was pretty much the same as the poison, it didn't really seem to affect anyone. But apparently if you get enough spores, that you'll just turn into a zombie regardless of, you know, whether or not you're alive. So that would be nice to check out. I don't know when that'll be though. I generally prefer to play that game with a bunch of people if I can. And it's at least at an hour and a half, 2 hours of climbing, so I have to get people around for that. Yeah. Plus, I want to play some more RV there yet, so I'm thinking I might try to set up a game night again. Why am I cleaning up leaves? What the hell is this shit? Well, I mean, technically you can power wash leaves away, but you can't wash them with soap away. It doesn't work that way. That would just make them stick more. I would like to attempt to get people to join for it. Obviously, are we there yet? I want to have as many people as I can for that next time. Just because the more people we have in that, the more hectic it is. Hopefully this time with better, like, more stable connections. And I'm also gonna say that we should probably spend some time explaining the game to the new people, because I don't think Little had any idea what was going on. Plus, she was having connection issues, so that would have been very frustrating. And of course, you know, Peak is just better with as many people as you can get. Yeah. And you should have turned into a zombie, but didn't. And that's because I think they turned the setting down too much. Hopefully they fixed that. I haven't checked the latest patches or anything. I know they did an update. And they did an initial update to fix the fact that everyone was turning into zombies, like, practically instantly. Supposed to be ridiculously high. And then they were supposed to have lowered it down again, but... sorry, reduce the setting, the initial setting they had done. Even that's the thing. Even if someone rescues you, just by having enough spores, you're supposed to turn into a zombie. You don't have to die. You just have to have enough spores. Apparently, so I've been told. So it doesn't matter if someone rescues you from death. You were still supposed to become a zombie if you get enough spores built up. The whole point is you're not supposed to get them. Otherwise, it really isn't any different to poison, and that would be boring. Just poison with extra steps. No ding? Where's my ding? Give me that ding, damn it. It must be... Yeah, the crevice right here. Let me just spray the crevice. That went away, but it's still got a thing marking it as being dirty. Ah, it'll be down here. There we go. Mm. The only thing that's a bit disappointing with RV there yet is that it is a static map, so it has a limited lifespan. I would be intrigued if they could make a kind of like a Peak-esque design where you could have shorter trips, but like a daily generated map or something. So to go along with the main one, that'd be kind of cool because then you could continue playing it even after you finished it more than once. Because after once, I'm probably going to be done with it myself. I don't know. It's less exciting when I know how to get the car across. Like, we already know how to get the RV most places in that cave, for instance. Just some areas that are just a little too easy now that we know how it works. It'd be good if they just had it generate a map now and then. Well, that's what I mean. It'd be a smaller map. Instead of it being the size it currently is, the generated map they could make would just be like a fifth of the size. And that could be the day map to do. I mean, you don't know anything until you learn. Everything can have procedurally generated maps, though. Might be a little difficult the way they've designed it. Though I'm pretty sure it's not. Let me double check. RV there yet? I can't remember what it was made in. Why can't I open your location? Being stupido. Because actually, like, procedural generation isn't necessarily a difficult thing to learn. It's just that you have to learn it. A lot of people don't think about putting it into their games because, well, I mean, a lot of games it's just not worth doing. But this kind of game definitely is, in my opinion. Yeah, it's Unreal Engine. Not a problem at all putting procedural generation into that. They've got a whole suite of things set up for that. In fact, I've been looking at that myself recently. They call it PCG, not PGC. There used to be procedurally generated content, but now they've reworded it. The procedural content generation or something like that. Practically the same thing, just like swapped around. In Unreal Engine, it's slightly more difficult, like because of the design, like the design of the engine. But for that particular game, I couldn't see there being much of a problem. Mm. Dun, dun, dun. Especially considering, other than the road that you drive on, everything else already kind of looks procedurally generated in that game. There's some really sharp peaks and whatnot on hills. Hmm. Yeah, it is Unreal. I checked. Um, but yeah, it'd be fairly easy. I wouldn't say like super easy, but it'd be fairly easy to implement into their current system. Dun, 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 dun. Adding new stuff might be a bit extra work, but using what they've already got wouldn't be too complicated. They've already got it in the game. They just need to make the point system and patch things to it. I won't get into the details because I don't think any of you really care about the software side of games. Dun, dun, dun. But Unreal Engine is kind of designed in the way where you kind of paint a landscape in the engine itself, like when you're using the editor. With the, you get out of the way, with the PCG, I think they call it a plugin in that. Using the PCG plugin, it makes it really easy to take your existing stuff and just like generate any size map you want. Technically, you can make an unlimited size map, but I don't know how well resource wise Unreal Engine handles unlimited, as it were. I don't know how well it loads and unloads scenes, segments of maps. Storing, that's the easy part, but I say easy, but it's also not, depending on what you're storing. Yeah, essentially chunks. A lot of the time, depending on the game slash engine you're using. For instance, Minecraft calls them chunks. A lot of engines will call them scenes, or what was the other term? I don't remember what Unity called them. They might have been scenes in that too. Just because using similar terminology makes life way easier when you're using multiple systems. But I mean, every game is designed that way because you load. Well, at this point, every game's designed that way because you load in a section of a map, not the whole thing usually. Larger maps are ridiculous resource-wise. That's not exactly an accurate term. Ocular occlusion is a different sort of thing. It's more for like getting things out of the way so that you can see the characters or the game better. It doesn't necessarily unload things either. It's more of a display purpose. It might unload them, but it's not required for that terminology. As opposed, because like obviously culling means to remove. This is what I'm talking about is not even having loaded it in the first place, because you don't want something loaded until you need it. You can avoid loading it, I should say. Sometimes you have no choice. Yeah, yeah. But you would normally, like, that wouldn't be used in procedural generation because you haven't generated the stuff to cull it yet. So the term wouldn't work. Mm. And I mean, describing something as a scene is usually just describing a chunk of a map, and it's usually more for static maps anyway. Dun, 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 dun. I think the term they use for describing areas in a procedural generation in Unreal might be points. I think they refer to them as. And they can be of any size. I don't think they even have to fit inside of a scene. Though, don't quote me on that because I'm still kind of learning it and the terms they use for it. Yeah. Yeah, ocular occlusion is often used in top-down or go on. Orthographic designed games. So, like role-playing games, for instance, will often use that because they're usually, unless they're first or third person role-playing, they're usually top-down or orthographic. And especially in orthographic, you, for instance, the what's that playing game I was playing again? Brain, no want to worky. Where is it? Ground of Aces. Ground of Aces is a is a orthographic game. You see it from sort of a top down, slightly off angle viewpoint, and it has ocular occlusion for the trees and such that you can see people walking underneath them, or if you have a building, you'll be able to see the building. Roofs in that game are hidden, and that would technically be ocular occlusion. Um, so that's kind of how all that works. I forget terms so easy though. Like I can't remember the term. Whenever I think about it, I can never remember the term for when you have a 2D background, but you make it look 3D by having it broken into multiple segments and then move in separate parallaxing. There it is. Takes me a while to remember, but yeah. There's a thing called parallaxing, which is where you get multiple parts of a background and then display them at different speeds when you move, and it looks like the background is 3D because it looks like it's moving. So that's just how it is when it comes to terms with me. It's like names. I'm terrible at remembering names. Terrible at remembering terms. Worse so if they're acronyms because, you know, depending on which area of IT you work in, you may have the same acronym 2 or 3 times in each area. You gotta figure out based on context clues what the hell people are talking about. Yeah, acronyms were the bane of my existence when I was a software engineer. To the point where I actually had a cheat sheet of commonly used acronyms in different departments just sitting on my wall. So that if someone was saying something, I'd look over and find which department they're in and what acronym they were using and see if I could guess what the hell they were talking about. Mind you, it was mostly emails when I was talking to people in emails, so not like I was in the mid-conversation, I just ignore them to look over at a sheet or something. dun, 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 dun. Mhm. I need to learn how to do the procedural generation stuff for 2 game ideas I have. It's not urgent because they're not going to get done anytime soon, working on them myself independently. But one of them very much requires it because it's kind of the initial part of the entire game is um procedural generation. And the other one could probably just be a static generation until I get around to it. Both of those games are colony builders to an extent. Though don't put that down yet. I'll wash this off. One's a semi 2D, possibly 2.5D side scrolly type, kind of oxygen not included esque. And the other one is a kind of like a god game in a sense, where you play, for those who don't know, games like Black and White. No, it, you play as like the overseer or god-like character for a bunch of minions, people, whatever. And instead of controlling them directly, say like RimWorld-esque, you kind of more just influence their actions, but they do their day-to-day stuff without you needing to micromanage them. So there's usually a micromanaging system for when they really are being stupid. Black and White had that. You could literally pick up a person and just dump them somewhere and they'd start working. Yeah, they have some concept ideas. One of them, the one that's more of a god game, is kind of designed in the same sort of vein of like RimWorld's presence. No, that's not the right word. The word's gone. Damn it. RimWorld's initial essence. It was supposed to be like to tell a story, and that's kind of what this is like. It's designed so that you're telling us the story of certain people or whatever, like a certain town perhaps. You can specifically follow certain people who keep an eye on them, and if you wanted to, or if it's scenario based, I can jump up here. You can interact with them in a specific way to try and get them to do something. Like, for instance, you may be wanting to get someone to have a certain type of job. You can do certain things to make sure they get the job, and they could be good or bad. Like, you could make it seem like you're offering, like, well, not you, but the person going for the job offers a bribe, for instance, by leaving some money on a table or something like that. Or you could, a lot of these are going to be evil because that's the only ones I can think of right now. You could make it so that the competition withdraws essentially by disappearing. This person just never gets back to them because he's sleeping with the fishes, see? Or something along those lines. That would be the evil side of things. Or you could make it so that, he's a better candidate for the job by doing certain things. It's a very detailed game, and it's a reason it's not going to get done anytime soon. I don't even know if the technology required to to process all the information exists for a standard computer right now. because there'd be a lot of like you essentially. What I need to do is essentially process all of the information for every citizen of a town or a city or whatever, constantly in the background whilst you're following certain characters. And I haven't figured out a way to do that yet that wouldn't kill most computers, because there's just be way too much processing going on. But that's... I'm not that fussed about getting that one done anytime soon. That's mostly being pushed by Doug Mum, to be honest. He wanted to see the what's commonly known as the snow globe game. That's what that one is. Da, 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 da. One day it'll happen. One day I'll get it built. Yeah, I mean it's fair. I'm not stating that it's not a fair desire to want to see that game. Myself, I would also love to see the game, but I also know how much effort it's going to be to build the damn thing. So, ain't no complaints here, trust me. The other one was just for fun because it's a lot easier to build. It's practically like a oxygen not included version of a game, but with dragons. There's more to it than that, but that's the design I've been working on for that one. That one requires me to actually finish building the damn dragon models though, and I haven't gotten to them in a while. There's a couple of games currently out that I guess could almost be considered similar, but they're not what I'm going for. Like, they're more common city or colony builders. Mine's or closer to like the Sims type games. Mine's not like that at all. Hmm. That who knows, maybe with the course this year, well next year technically, I'll actually make some headway with it. Got to make sure that the course I'm looking at's the one I'm actually looking for before I actually apply for it though. Don't want to waste my time like I did at the beginning of this year. Because whilst, yes, I probably could learn it all myself, you know, via YouTube and whatnot, I'm more motivated if I'm having to do it for like a specific deadline. Learning, that is, not the game itself. The game itself I won't have a problem with. My learning ability as I age seems to be deteriorating rapidly. That's the reason I haven't learned Japanese yet. God damn it. Oh, come on, let me get up there. Maybe I can jump from up here. Aha, I can get up here. It's fine. I don't need no ladder. I don't need no stinking ladder. Yeah. Okie dokie. I'll catch you later. You
really are the
most devious bastard in New York City. Ah, damn straight. Man, I love that. That Barry is just hilarious. Most things he says is just hilarious. And that, he's good. Thank you for the biddies, by the way. Yeah, I added a bunch of those because I meant to add... which one was I adding? I can't remember. I don't think I found it. I couldn't find it on there. I'm like, oh, that sucks. And then I got distracted with a whole bunch of others, so I just added, like, I think like 5 of them or something like that. There's the... He speaks the bullshit. And, was it, we bit some college students, but they were on drugs, and now I'm a wizard. I can't remember what the other ones are. They're funny though. Of course, you don't have to play those. You can play whatever you want, but I like to put them up there so people think about them when they're looking for sound alerts. I need to make a couple of those channel point redeems too. I just didn't get around to doing it. I think I made one of them a channel point redemption. Which I can't look at on my bot because this bot sucks when it comes to proper Twitch integrated stuff. This bot was designed for a different streaming service. I don't remember which one. It doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. Well, no, I know it doesn't exist because they replaced everything in it to work with Twitch instead. And there's still references to the old system in there. Can't think of what the system was. It was a fairly short-lived streaming service. Whereas the new bot that I have is designed to work with multiple services, integrate in, like it's got Twitch, Kick, YouTube. Doesn't have TikTok. Nothing really does because TikTok usually requires you to use their software. Bing. Bing. Forgot why I was mentioning that. Oh, that's right, because this bot doesn't really integrate well for channel point redeems. Dun, 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 dun. I really want chicken. Someone to buy me chicken. Anyone want to buy me some chicken? I'm hungry. I had KFC for dinner last night, and the night before that. I really shouldn't be having it so often. But it's KFC and it's delicious. What can I say? A good KFC for those in America. We don't have crap like you guys have. What a lot of people refer to as terrible chicken. Because I guess you guys have better options. And I don't know if it's... I think KFC here is good because we don't have better options, or if it actually is better here. I don't have anything to compare it with. I'd have to go to America and try, one, their KFC, and two, other chicken places. Though, in saying that, I had KFC in Japan. I also had Domino's and McDonald's, just to compare them. Their McDonald's is a bit meh. Like, I think ours is better. Their KFC was good, but not as good as ours either. And their Domino's, it wasn't a hard stretch to beat the Domino's here, so theirs was better. Domino's Pizza, for those who don't know what it is. I don't think it's everywhere. If I ever get rich, though, that's one thing I'll probably end up doing. Traveling around places and just trying their foods and comparing them. And so I'm curious about how people prepare their foods. In America, yes. We don't have Dairy Queen here, so it definitely wouldn't be better than what we have here in KFC. But I would very much like to try it. I like to try a lot of different places in America. But America's just so damn expensive. And spread out. Like all the places I want to try, they're not like next door to each other. I'd have to travel for them. Just traveling to America is expensive enough. Doesn't help that I'm on the other side of the world. Well, I'm not really. I always say I'm on the other side of the world, but it's really just across an ocean. I'm closer to America than I am like Europe, for instance. See, we have Carl's Jr. here, but I don't know if it's the same as the Carl's Jr. America has. Because I've never known an American that's had it here to tell me otherwise. But there's only a few Carl's Jr.'s around, so I think it's probably going to be like a lot of the smaller versions of chains around the world is, and they tend to change the recipe to fit the taste of the locals instead of how it actually is. So like, we have a TGI Fridays as well, and I doubt it tastes anything like that in America. Mostly because if it does, it's absolute dog shit. I don't like it. It's terrible. But that's probably just the ones we have here. But who knows? Maybe not. Get up there, damn it. Why are you jumping sideways now? That's weird. What are you doing up here? I knew there'd be one of you here. Go on, get. Get out of here. I don't like your kind around here. Gnomes. How dare they? Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, I think it was dying in America, so they started sending it other places. Not really all that great here either. And I have to say that Carl's Jr. is okay, but I wouldn't say it's anything fantastic. Nothing exciting. Like, considering that it only exists near me in one spot, I wouldn't put the effort in to actually go drive there, ever. There's way better food, way closer. Do 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 do. Very green that. Oh, it's because it was shiny. Dries off a little less green. We don't have Five Guys anywhere around here. Five Guys and In-N-Out are like they're not even everywhere in America from my understanding. They're only in certain places. Dun, 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 dun. Mm, 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 mm. Dun, dun, dun. But yes, I would try all the places in America that I've heard are good from someone, even if that they might be a biased opinion. Which I mean, it's taste; it's all biased opinion. I would still like to try them just to have the experience. Same as I want to go back to Japan for the same reason, just eat more of their foods. I mean, there's other reasons for me to want to go to Japan, but that's the main reason. Or their steak. God, Japanese steak is the best ever had. Even their regular stuff is just great, not even the high grade stuff. Bum, bum. Things in the way. I do wish they didn't put these so close to some of the things, some of the buildings. I don't bother using them. I find it just as quick to do it this way. But that's always in the way. In this case, I'm just going to jump on top of it because it's kind of right where I want to stand. Where am I missing? There. Dun, 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 dun. How you doing, Sir Lane? How's work today? Dun, 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 dun. Almost forgot what time it was. Wait a second, is it? I've already missed the start time? No, no. That's next hour, not this hour. Super fun, yeah. Is that sarcasm I hear? Ah, I see. Of course. I mean, didn't you include mind reading in your resume when you applied for the job? I guess that is kind of implied by every employer ever that you can somehow read minds. I've been there. Every job almost. Ridiculous how much people think you just know that you should have done something. It's like, what are you talking about? You didn't ask about this. Hmm. I had that in my last job, and I was not even supposed to be writing code, and they were expecting me to have something finished by the end of the week, and I'm like, what the hell are you even talking about? I wasn't involved in any of it. I had no knowledge of it. But apparently I was the one working on it. Mind you, I wasn't even hired as a software engineer in that job. I was supposed to be doing it. Yeah, just use common sense. That's not common sense, my guy. I don't think you know what common sense is. What are you gonna do? Yep. Where do I have it? Plenty? Cool. Hmm. Actually, why my last resume, I took stuff off of it that I knew how to do because I didn't want them to ask me to do that all the time. By ask, I mean just expect me to be doing it. Because it wasn't actually part of the job I was applying for, and I didn't want them to know I could do it. They don't know you can do it. They can't ask you to do it. I mean, they can still ask you, but you can just go, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Sylvain. What game what do you mean, which game? And what I'm talking about with Sylvain is actually just jobs. He's being asked to be a mind reader. Dun, dun, dun. As I was talking about a game, but you know, my memory sucks, so I've probably already forgotten. Oh. No, I think he was using. I don't think that was literal, unless it was, but I think it was more a metaphor. Saying, you know, they expect you to use all of your skills, even though they didn't ask you to use all of your skills. It is actually for a house. I wasn't sure if it was that or like that was more of a metaphor in the sense of like, you know, them expecting you to do more than you were asked. Mm. You know what? I'm gonna go climb up this ladder. Right there, I may as well use it. Dun, dun. Wait, spray that clean. I did. I didn't get the top though, but clean parts I could reach. Dun, dun. You're the framer. Gotcha. Assume you do framing in place and not like rebuilt frames that you bring in. But I don't know. Possible. Rebuilt? Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Can we get to the top, please? I don't know if I should be working on a chimney that's clearly being actively used. Look at that. Want me to clean a chimney that's currently being used? Plus, it's also sealed, so let's just not question where the smoke's actually coming from. Oh, crap. Slippery dang roof. Get up there. Ah. They're like, hey, we need a roof over here. And you turn up with the roof and they're like, yeah, what about the walls? How are you supposed to hold the roof up? What, you didn't ask for a wall? That's a you problem. Wrong button. Yeah, it is a bit stupid. But also in no way surprising. It'd be your fault for not building a wall for them, even though there was never a request for one. Maybe they have a wall guy. You don't know. Dun, dun, dun. I just reach it from here. I don't want to climb back up there. Thank much effort. That's one thing that always bugged me about IT, and part of the reason I got out of it was that they always thought it was too expensive. They didn't want to pay for the work that was required, and I'm like, oh, that's all right. I don't want to do the work, so you don't need to pay me. I'm just not going to do it. They always expect things to be cheaper than they're really worth. I don't know if that's just because they want to save money or if they're just completely oblivious of the world. What exactly? Wrong button. So why I didn't really like doing software work for small companies. I do their hardware stuff, no problems, because that was usually well enough paid. But they had no understanding of how much work goes into making software, and didn't want to pay nearly as much as you'd have to get something done. And the small companies, like the smaller businesses, didn't have the money to spend on custom software, but that's what they want. Well, you can't afford what you want. You ain't gonna get it. Unless you're the particular person I worked for once that his solution for saving money was to outsource to any random Indian company that was the cheapest, and wondered why he got exactly the kind of work he paid for, which is to say it was crap. Because whilst there are companies out there in India that are good at making software, they know their worth and they charge you for it. The cheaper ones are usually terrible at their job. They're like people practically scamming you almost, because the people working on it barely know how to make any software, and only a very specific in very specific ways of a specific type. If you ask for anything too custom, they've got no idea how to do it. Yeah. I hated working for that guy because explaining to him that the reason his software didn't work is because he kept hiring someone who sucks was impossible for him to understand. No, that's how it works. And then he was like, all right, then you pick the person to hire, and I'm like, all right, here they are, and he's like, no, they're too expensive, and I'm like, yeah, this is exactly why you're not getting the work done. You think it's too expensive because you don't want to spend the money. But at least he took my opinion in that job, unlike the last one, where they quite literally went with the one person I said they shouldn't go with. Like, yeah, that almost made me quit right then and there when I found out about that. I did end up quitting shortly after that though, but yeah, it was just at that point I knew they didn't really give a crap about what I was saying, and were going to do what they wanted regardless. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't want to be around dealing with this website when it falls over, because that's the thing. The guy was being contracted, right, to make the website. Even though he was building it in-house, he was still a contractor. When the job's done, he could just leave. And then a couple of months later, when the stuff starts to fall apart, I'm the one that would have to fix it. And I don't really want to, because I already knew it was garbage before they even hired him. And that was actually evident on the first project that they had him work on. They had him work on a canteen ordering system, like an online ordering system. The parents could order the kids' food for the week, pretty much, on the website, and the kids could just pick it up from the canteen at school. But the lady who ran the canteen, who for me was a very delightful older lady, I loved talking to her. everyone else thought she was mean and angry, and I'm just like, you clearly just are dealing with her the wrong way. She despised working with this guy. She hated having to deal with him because she would be like, all right, it needs to do this, this, and this. And he's like, oh, yeah, we can't do that. This is going to have to be like this. And it's pretty much telling her how it was going to be done. And it wasn't anything near what she needed. He even built most of it before anyone who mattered finally got wind of like the fact that he wasn't doing anything she was asking. And he had to rebuild the whole entire thing practically because it wasn't what was being asked for. Even though I had been telling them that for like about 3 weeks, they just didn't listen. He never really did in that job. And stupidly after that project, they hired him again for another project that was one I had to deal with, and I did not want to deal with that. That was when I decided, because that he was hired for that. Took him about a month and a half to build. Should have taken him like maybe 3 weeks at best. And then when they hired him for the next job and how it related directly to my work, I was not really a happy camper about it. And I spoke with the database guy that worked there, and asked him, you know, like, who's supporting this afterwards. He's like, yeah, it'll probably be you. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. I'd already planned on leaving at that point. Mind you, I'd already considered like leaving IT for good because I got sick of going into a job and then them finding out I did software engineering at some point and expecting me to make software for them. Like, no, it's not my job. Bugger off. If I wanted to be a software engineer, I'd get a job as a software engineer. This is like a system admin role, or this is a help desk role or whatever, you know? Not to say that people don't like enjoy doing that job. I just don't enjoy it anymore. I barely enjoy making my own software for me. That's how much I don't enjoy it at this point. It was ruined for me. Oh my man, just polishing the knob, the roof knob. What it's called. You can't blame me for it. It's called a lid roof knob. It's probably also why it's taken me so long to get into getting my frog out. Yeah, all right. Zip. Frog is out. God, hold on, I have to write something down. You just gave me an idea that I have to write down. I'll, I'll put it in at the top here.
Lost it all.
Exactly. Not quite sure of what, but you definitely got blasted off. God, I need a new keyboard. Or to fix this one. That'll do. It's fine. It's good. Dun, 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 dun. I did not expect people to use that particular sound alert as much as it gets used. Of Julia saying I got blasted off. It is pretty funny though. Dun, 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 dun. Come here, you. No, fuck it, I'll take you. So. Bum, bum. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Get the spray in there. Bing. Alright. Apparently, did I not do the underneath? Not spray it clean off the underneath. Go and get. Dun, dun, dun. I missed on the door. Did I miss the handle? I must have missed the handle. Should I polish it out another knob? Don't mind me. Yeah, the doorknob. Both knobs. Important to make sure you polish the knob, alright? Otherwise, the job's not done.
All pad.
Yeah, I ain't doing shit. Ah, that's an oldie. That one was, I added that one specifically for when I'm asking, like, talking to people about joining games or whatever. It's like, do you want to join the game? And they could play that. Which works for you, because, I mean, we'll be doing that later. In half an hour. Continue. Shooting gallery. Still don't have enough money for anything yet, though. $5,000 for that one. Oops, wrong button. Where's the job? Job, come back. Where did you go? There it is. Muckingham Recreation. Definitely not finishing this one at the moment, but I am going to do this because, you know. Oh no, I need the. Yeah. Ding, ding. Take the cat out. Ding, ding. Oh, almost knocked that one over. Can I actually knock him over? No. Is that a Yeti up the back there? That's what that's supposed to be, right? Oh, hey, you can like hit different targets. I'm gonna just hit the targets. You're right, it is because it's not white. Bigfoot. Yeti's he's white. He's albino cousin. Oh, bring out the smoke. Mm. Oh, there's a target up there too. A target up there. Ding. I wonder if I clean off all the targets first. Oh, actually, can I actually use these? Damn, I was hoping I could spray with that and actually hit targets. That would have been cool. Jump. Oh, hey, he turns. Look at the kitty. Meow, 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 meow. It's time for the kitty's shower. Bath time. Ding. Yeticus. Mr. Bigfoot, come here. Wait, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. You're very small from here. Kind of more of a little foot. Man, that was bright. Yeah, Bigfoot's kind of tiny. Make that statement right now. Kind of a tiny foot. Maybe it's the baby Bigfoot. Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. Mm, 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 mm. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Mm. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. And then, da-da-da. Ooh. Hmm. All the way around. You can do it. Apparently you can't. You get stuck right there. That sucks. B. Dun, 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 dun. What is your opinion of the quality of the Mr. Black AI voice? I guess you guys don't really have much comparison to go off of course, but mostly in my head. Oh, I just get stuck, huh? I'll do it. Mm-hmm. I walk around, no, it's gonna have invisible walls everywhere. Disappointed. Not the first time I've been disappointed in a game today. I tried out a game that was all about driving. I thought, oh, it might be alright. It even says that it's not going to have invisible walls when it releases when they release the full game. But it's not even close to being ready yet. They shouldn't have a demo of it out. Game doesn't have proper menus. It didn't save any of the settings in the menus that did exist. One of which was the mouse sensitivity, and that's why I stopped playing it. I couldn't even finish trying out the demo because the mouse sensitivity kept resetting on me, and it was impossible for me to drive at the default setting. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna make it a better. I'm probably going to attempt to make it using my own voice at some point. But you need a certain amount of recording, I believe, to make that happen. And I haven't really got the time to get that correct at the moment. Mm. And it'll probably be more fun once you can do the ask question thing. Ask Devron Black a question. Yes, he has a first name. Know if washing this thing, especially while it's plugged in, is a good idea. If it's, I mean, running, it's the thing generating the power after all. No, but I probably wear rubber shoes, so that counts, right? Give me the food. But I'm actually hungry. I don't think I ate before stream again. Yeah. No, I didn't. I had breakfast before going to bed yesterday. Cereal before going to bed, I should say. That is the extent of the food I have had. No, 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 no. I also know nothing about GTFO pretty much, so that's going to be interesting. I know it's a first-person shooter, question mark? I think it's first. But other than that, I know very little about it. So, yes. I'm going to be the lead weight that I have to deal with. Doesn't know anything, and they have to take care of. I'm going to go to the blue room. Like it's covered in bird poop. Hope I'm wearing like a full protective gear because I do not want to be catching whatever the hell lives on this now. Trim different? No. Part of a roof. Uh, dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Found out that my niece is very determined to become a writer. I like that. She told me about, like, she walked me through the story she's got planned, and I love it already. Even though it doesn't have like much details that aren't spoilers, because I specifically asked her not to tell me anything that would be a spoiler. The concept itself is very exciting, and it probably has something to do with the fact that it's also my favorite genres, post-apocalyptic, zombie-esque type creatures. They're not zombies, but they're zombie-esque. Monsters of sorts that are the reason the world is ended. He says sci-fi too, so there must be elements in there that count as sci-fi, but I'm not entirely sure what they are. I think they may be included in the spoiler section. I'm feeling that there's a good chance that the main character is going to have like psychic abilities or similar of some sort. I don't know if she might have read the Ober Newton series. I think my brother gave her a copy of those. So there's a good chance that it's similar to that. That was a post-apocalyptic book about the world was destroyed by nuclear radiation and whatnot. And there are some people out there that you don't find out until much later in the series. There's actually quite a few of them that have developed psychic abilities of sorts and different types of psychic abilities. And the main character Elspeth is one that has a unique psychic ability that could destroy or save the remainder of the world. Because there's something out there that could essentially finish the job of destroying humanity. And she's probably the only one capable of stopping it. And I never finished that series, so I have no idea if she does or not. I assume she does. One day I'll get to it. Unfortunately, the writer took forever to write it. He initially started writing that book in college? No, in high school. And she is now like in her 80s or something. He wrote the first, I want to say 4 or 5 books, and then moved on to other books and didn't come back to the rest of the series until about 8 years ago, I want to say. And then wrote the final books then. I think it was 8, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more. So, but there were a lot of people, my brother included, that thought that she would end up dying before she would finish the series because she kept saying she'd come back to it, but then kept making other books and was not the healthiest individual to begin with. So, uh, Ian McCaffrey, I think it was. Yeah, I'm bad with names. Great book series though. If you like post-apocalyptic, you like sci-fi, it is technically a young adult book, which is when I read it. But I would say that for most people who like that sort of that genre, they will still love the series. Absolutely. Don't know if I've recommended that with the book series before. I probably have. I usually do. I have to look at my list and see what's recommended in there. I have to find out if there's an audiobook version of it, because I read those books initially. I don't actually know if they had any audiobooks made for them. I assume they probably have. That's how I tend to consume most of my reading at this point, is actually more listening whilst doing something else. Just because multitasking is way easier, and I don't know, I can't do one thing at a time anymore. Too slow for me. What am I missing here? Specks along here, huh? Little specks of dirt. Still not enough. Does this trim count as roof? No, it's frills. I thought it wouldn't. But the edging might be part of it, so... May as well get the frills while I'm here as well. For a time there, I thought about having like a little book club type thing for people who like books, but I mean, we all read at different paces, so it wouldn't really work. Maybe though, maybe one day. Only people I know that guaranteed to read a book anytime soon is Dog Mum and Hannah though. Like I gave Hannah the was the He Who Fights with Monsters series, which Dog Mum also consumed like crazy. Because she might be a little bit obsessed. You can't deny that. But it was another series as well. What was it? The Slow Burn series. And Hannah read that and loved it, so... Like, she told me how much she loved it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Now I'm going to have to recommend more for her. I like to be able to recommend good series, because I know how hard it is to find a good series when there's so many books out there, and not all of them are really up everyone's alley. My main problem at this point is that I never get to half the recommendations people suggest to me, because it takes me too long just to get to my own friggin' recommendations. Bing. Did I get the rest of this? No, I haven't done that. Then the poll. Is that it? Now we're good? Yep, cool. Dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. I'm currently listening to... It's gone out of my head. Completely gone out of my head. Whole other series though, because the ones that are currently a work in progress. None of the new books have come out yet. Ever one that I haven't gotten to. Audiobooks. He called again. The First to Fire. He has a series called Defiance of the Fall. It's a lit RPG series, which essentially is, you know, a book where the characters kind of have role-playing game abilities. Um, literal RPG, literature RPG, depending on which term you're going to use. And it's a pretty good one. It's got a lot of books in that series, like a lot of books, but it keeps your attention pretty well most of the time. Unfortunately, it has the problem that some of the lit RPG books have, in that at some point the main character becomes so ridiculously powerful that when they try to describe the powers of the main character, it's like a freaking chapter all on its own. And I lose focus of that stuff real quick. Luckily they started abbreviating it in this one. Otherwise I'd probably have checked out entirely. Button. Wrong button again. That one. Oh, each one of these letters is going to be individual one, huh? Yep. Come on. There we go. Da, da, da. Rest of that from the other side. Do, 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 do. Oh, I didn't realize each one of those were individually different. God damn it. Means that one right on the edge there I haven't gotten. Maybe? Maybe I did. Underneath the sign I haven't gotten. Almost hit the wrong button again. Dun, 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 dun. There's that one done. Fairly bit on the side at least. So why is that guy not going? Ding. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Gotta swap over games in a minute. Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. We are playing GTFO. Been meaning to play it for a while since Tiger got it for like a few of us. So I have no idea other than that it's a I guess it's a horror shooter. I don't really know if I'd call it horror, but you know. I don't really know anything else about it though, other than that. So yeah, I guess that'll be interesting to learn. And I still have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. Wait, yes I do. Tomorrow's class. Never mind, I'm not streaming tomorrow. I was like, definitely thought it was Tuesday for some reason, but it's Wednesday right now. So I won't be streaming tomorrow. But Friday for me, I have a few options of what to play. Wrong button. By that I mean my finger twitched. Dun, 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 dun. Like mowing a lawn. I could do lawnmower simulator, it'd be the same as this. And I'm honestly okay with that. Have you not gone ding? Go ding, damn it. Last part of the roof I haven't actually finished. There we go. Anyone ding. Alright. I'll swap over games now. And we'll get back to this later. Did you save? No? No idea if that saved. Hopefully it did. Dun, dun, dun. Alrighty. Clear that. Didn't take a break yet, but I'm about to. While I swap games. So I'll be back in 3 minutes, and then we're going to be doing some GTFO.